Welcome back to Grafting Dragon Fruit. I'm Richard, and in this video today, I'm going to be giving you guys a 6-month update on this VEGO Garden trellis that I got from them. And before we start, I just want to let you know that I started a comprehensive dragon fruit course to teach and help you grow dragon fruit successfully. You'll learn everything you need to know to grow, care for, and harvest dragon fruit from A to Z. Whether you're just starting out or have been growing for a while, this course is great and open for all levels. We'll dive into each step from the basics of dragon fruits and move into more advanced topics like grafting, building trellises, or maximizing your harvest. I'll personally guide you and answer any questions you may have on your journey. There's going to be monthly live calls, unlimited support, lifetime updates, and many more. Join now at the link in the description and let's get started on your dragon fruit journey. And ever since I started using it, it's been 6 months now, and there has been some pros and cons, and I promised you guys that I was going to give you guys updates when I started using it because I've never used this trellis system before. It is a little pricey for this type of trellis, but again, aesthetically, it looks really nice. It has the wheels on the bottom, so moving them is going to be a lot easier. But my real test was how was it going to grow in this type of setting, and if the support was even strong enough to help hold all of its branches and canopy once it starts to umbrella out and become very mature. So those were the two main things that I was concerned about. So we got to the point where I started noticing how this was draining water. And if you guys have this already, then you know they have this technology where they're called self-wicking cells, where the water kind of piles down at the bottom. They have this cell tray that you put into this trellis before you put the soil in, and it's just little cells that actually holds water, and it's supposed to help you not water as much, and the water is supposed to just reclaim down there, and when the roots needs it, they will take and start wicking water from those cells. One thing that I don't like about that is dragon fruit are the type of plant that likes to have well-drained soil. So my concern was if the cells are collecting all of the water, where is it draining? Is it just puddling and sitting in there? It's good in the aspect of if you're growing something that likes the water and you're not wasting nutrients, because now the nutrients isn't just draining out, it's actually staying in those cells, so the plants can keep on feeding itself. But for dragon fruit, I was noticing that it wasn't working too well with that technology because they love quick draining soil, and they do not like the excess of water sitting down there. It actually gets them to be very finicky. You can also get root rot from it, and I've seen from my membership course, my member, his name is Larry, he grows them in these pots, but he came to me with a problem. He said, "Hey Richard, I'm growing them in these VEGO trellises, and I'm noticing that one of my American Beauty cuttings is starting to have root rot." And that what made me concerned. I was like, okay, so those are signs that this trellis system does not have a good drainage system. So I told him, hey, let's give this a try and drill some holes at the bottom. Another member in my course, his name is Luis, he actually also grows in his trellis, and he noticed the same thing and already took that action into his own hands. So what he did was he took a drill, and literally at the bottom, it's all plastic. So he drilled all these holes at the bottom, and right when he did that, so much water drained out. So I was curious of myself, and I wanted to put that to the test too. This is Jurassic guava that I'm growing in this VEGO Garden trellis. So I did not want it to have root rot and start all over, because this is one of my varieties that I created, and I want them to grow healthy, strong, have lots of branches so I can share them with all of you guys. So I went out and drilled those holes, and to my surprise, there was so much water draining out, and I haven't been watering this VEGO Garden trellis because I was a little scared that it might be puddling water down there, and my instincts were right. So I listened to Luis. I gave that advice to Larry. We all drill holes in them, and now our dragon fruit plant is doing so well. I have a little clip of me drilling those holes and then all of this water draining out, and it was a whole minute of water just draining out. So I was very surprised of how much water was actually collecting down there, and that is not good for dragon fruit. So my one tip, if you are growing this with this trellis and you're growing dragon fruit, is to add extra drainage holes at the bottom, because there is 0 drainage holes. So water will just collect in there, and you won't even know how much water is in there unless you have one of those meters where you can stick in the soil. It'll tell you how wet your soil is, so you'll know when to water it. But to me, that still is a little bit sketchy, because what if it rains where does all that water go? Does it drain out? Do you have to cover it? So to prevent all of those concerns, just add the holes. So when it does rain or there's just water pulling down there, you're getting that extra drainage, and it's gonna make your dragon fruit super happy and they won't have a problem with it at all. So let me show you guys those holes. Why I'm telling you guys this now is because you don't want it to get to a point where this trellis or these dragon fruit plants get so mature, so big, that it's gonna be almost impossible for you to lift this or tilt this, so then you can add the holes on the bottom. So if you're in your early stages and you're growing with this trellis, go out there guys, I highly, highly recommend this. Add those holes down there to save your dragon fruit from future problems that's gonna make you drill those holes anyways. So skip all of those headaches, heartaches, and get that done right away. So let me go ahead and prop this up. Let me try my best, okay, you guys, without, you know, breaking this trellis. So here we go. Okay. So I hope the camera can see all that, but those were the holes that I started drilling down there, and I just used a drill bit to do that. So it's very easy to do, and it actually goes right in and out. And if you guys have been watering regularly, you're gonna notice so much water starting to drain out of it. So that was my #1 tip with this VEGO Garden trellis that I did not like. The cell wick technology is super cool. I can see it working very good with herbs, veggies, and stuff like that that require more water and those nutrients to always be available. But for dragon fruit, they're just already so resilient. They already grow so well during the summertime. All they need is water and nutrients, and they will thrive for the rest of the summer until they need to go and hibernate again, which is in the winter time. So that's what we did. So that's one thing that was very important. #2 is we're still waiting for the canopy to develop here. So once it develops, then I'll know if this plastic here and aluminum pole is gonna be strong enough to hold all of these branches once they get really big and heavy. And I chose Jurassic guavas because these branches, they grow big and long, and they can get very thick. So it's gonna really put this trellis integrity to the test. I've already cropped the top. Before I cut the top, and this is called cropping the top or tipping them, so that way you can get more branches to grow and canopy over. They're about this high when I started to realize like it's time to take them off. So I had about 8 to 10 inches of growth, and I left about 2 to 3 inches over the canopy, as you can see here. So you want it to be high enough so that way when the new offshoots come out, they'll grow right over and start to trellis and, you know, canopy over like this. And here's a really good example where I didn't get a chance to come tip it. A bug actually came and ate at the tip. And what that does is when you stop the growth and you guys cut the tip here, it promotes new growth. So it stops the auxin hormones from growing horizontally. And then all these spines, all these spikes that you see, they will put out new growth. And exactly that's what happened here. We tipped the tip here, and now we have 2 branches growing out. And now I'm just letting it do its thing. So some more branches will grow down the line. But when you do this cut at the top here, it forces new growth to come out. So that way you can really build that beautiful umbrella canopy that you guys see on all of my trellis here. So that's the next step, you guys. I'm just waiting for the canopy to develop. So I'm expecting another maybe 6 months to maybe even next season to do another update on this to see how the integrity of this trellis holds. We figured out the drainage problem, drill the holes. Dragon fruit's gonna be super happy with this trellis system after you do that. The next thing is it gonna hold everything up once it becomes happy and starts to thrive, right? So yeah, that's my quick update on the VEGO Garden trellis. So if you guys wanna spend some money on that, keep that in mind. I see this being like really useful for the elder people that, you know, doesn't wanna go to the big box stores, buy all the wood, cut and do all of that. Building, that can be a little tiring, and you know, it does take a lot of labor to build them. These VEGO Garden trellis come in a box. Everything is already in there. You gotta just put it together. So I can see this is a lot easier for the elder people, but a lot of people like to be involved with their garden and build their own trellis. It makes it feel like they, you know, add a lot of love into growing these plants. I can see I always do that. I still build traditional trellises with my 4x4 and 2x4s, but wanted to give this a try, and also trying new trellises to see how I can make more affordable ones and to fit more dragon fruit with smaller setups. So that will probably be in the next video of mine, so you guys can keep out on and look out on that. But that's it for today. That was the VEGO Garden trellis. So I hope you guys found all of this information useful today. And if you guys are growing it, use those tips so then that way your dragon fruit can continue to stay happy. And if you guys did like it and you guys found it helpful, please give me a like. If you guys have any comments or questions about the VEGO Garden, go ahead and leave in the comments below and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. And if you guys have not subscribed to this channel yet, please hit the subscribe button so that way you guys won't miss a single thing. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Grafting Dragon Fruit. Peace.